Hi family, here I am at the pool and I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance. Holly and I are leaving town to go with Caitlin and Braden on our little trip with them for a few days. We won't be back until a week from today, next Friday. But I know that you're going to be using the pool a lot this week, and me and Holly are really happy that you're doing that. So we hope you're here as often as you want to be and that swimming lessons go fabulous. But there's a few things with the really hot weather and a little more pressure on the pool that I would like for you to think about and take care of when you're here from time to time to swim. The first one is that this little ducky right here, I don't think there's really anything for you to do but to be aware that it's full of pucks. I just loaded it, so I don't think there's anything for you to do while we're gone. But if the kids get real close to it, especially if they take it out of the water, it's full of really potent chlorine, so it will, I have a feeling that it could sting somebody if they got real close to it. If the pool starts to look like it's, not completely full, then you can just turn on the water full blast. If you turn on full blast and let it be in there for 20 minutes, it'll fill it pretty much back up, and it's fine to fill it within 2 inches of the top of that little opening right there. It's going right now, so it should be full when you get here. I don't think you'll have to do anything with that while we're gone. These little white crystals that you see floating, that's because I just threw the shock in the pool, and I would like you to do that. Probably each time you're here, throw a little bit in, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. And most of the time we have the pool set so that the vacuum goes on, and I want to show you a little bit about that. So if I go over here where the brains of the pool are, you'll notice that on this little lever right here, there's dots of paint that line up, and that's to tell you where to turn this knob for the vacuum to operate. And so usually it'll be like that. Now, if you decide that you want to take the vacuum out of the pool, which I think you should do when you're doing swimming lessons, I'll show you how to do that in just a second, but you're fine to take the vacuum out of the pool. But when you take the vacuum out, turn this lever so that it comes all the way over here. And what that does is when the water pulls out of the pool, it only pulls from the top drains. It does not pull from the bottom or from the vacuum. And the reason that's good is because if you ever forgot to put the vacuum in or didn't put it in quite right, then it wouldn't harm anything if you have it on this pull from the top. Now, so we call this the skimmer. Now, when you turn on the pump, just come here and make sure that this green button is here by stop, and then press quick clean right here. And you'll hear the pump start to go once you've done that. And it's kind of a good idea to sort of watch to make sure this canister fills up. If for some reason it doesn't fill up, then you might have to fill with it. You can open this and shut it, make sure the drain's properly, but it'll fill up. So you see the water in there, that's what you want to look for. And then when air gets in the line, sometimes this canister here needs to be, let the air out of it. So I just turned this a little bit to the right, and you'll hear the air coming out of it. And we're just going to let that air come out right now until all the air is out of this canister. And what's happening is that the water is pulling in from the pool, and the air is emptying out of this canister, and you can hear it coming. There we go. And now I'll turn that back. Now I know this canister is full, everything's operating the way we want it to. And now that I know that's taken care of, now I will turn on the pool vacuum, and everything's hooked up over there the way that it should be. So I'm just going to switch this over now, and I'm going to move it. I kind of move it a little bit slowly just to let it gradually. When I get these lined up, and now when they're lined up, I know it's ready to go. And when you leave each day, if you could put the vacuum back together and kind of leave it in this position. And the one thing that's goofy is when you turn this off. When you turn this off, I don't know why, but sometimes when you push the start button, it automatically starts up again. But we don't want that to happen when you leave. So, okay, that worked fine. So when you leave it, the green light should be on with stop start, and then you can just set that lid, and you can leave it the way that it is, and you're happy with that. Okay, now, one other thing I'll show you while I'm here. If you ever want to come over in the evening and you want to use the pool light goes on just like that, and that turns on the light. Of course, you can't see it in daylight, but that's kind of fun. Other than that, you don't use anything in this panel. If you want to use the waterfall, you can, and all you do is you just turn this entirely like that, and that turns on the waterfall, and then turn it back the other way to turn off the waterfall. You can do that if you want to. Keep in mind that, in the middle of the day when it's really hot, everybody's electricity is pumping hard because of the air conditioning. So electricity is expensive during the middle of the day. So running it For a little bit of time is fine, but running it for a long time might use kind of a lot of electricity. Okay, if you decide to take this out of the pool, it's a little bit of a job to get it back in properly. Let me show you a few things. First of all, you just take it out by giving this a tug right here, pull it out, that flap will go closed, and then you just pull the whole thing out of the pool and just set it aside. Now, getting it out is no problem, but getting it back in is something that I want to show you about. Okay, so this will be empty. This will be empty when you put it back in. So one of the first things you need to do, keep track of this so it doesn't float too far away. One of the first things you need to do is to fill this canister back up and make sure it's completely full before you try to attach everything. So I get it full on this, I got it full there, and I turn it the other way and make sure it's completely full. Okay, now that I'm here, I want to attach this. Now I don't think you should try and do anything with this mesh inside. That's a little more complicated, so I won't bother teaching you about that. But when you get to this point, put these two things back together. I'll put the phone down so I can do that. So I just put the white hose on the nose of this canister. Make sure that you're put the white hose at the top of the canister so it sucks in through this mesh. And then for the back of the canister, you're going to put this light blue, and here's how it goes. And put the phone down so I can do it. Okay, so make sure when you do that it's as tightly put on as you can just by ramming it on there. And then once you've done this, you're going to want to get everything, the hose completely full of water. And probably you work on getting the white hose full of water before you ever hook it up. But you'll know it's full of water when you see that you can push this under and the bubbles don't come out anymore. And then you just take this, you lift this lid. Sometimes it's hard to lift because a little bit of suction gets on there. Lift that lid and put this back in nice and tight. If you've got that thing tight, and that thing tight, and that thing tight, and the hose and the canister are all full of water, you're ready to turn on the pump and make sure that it's going to operate the way you expect. Now, because it might get a little bit of air in it, that's why you use the method that I showed you earlier to take the air out of the canister. So once you have the vacuum all put back together, start it up and just make sure that it operates properly. And then it will automatically come on by itself about 2 o'clock about 10 o'clock at night, and it will sweep the pool overnight. So that's how it goes. If you get frustrated and don't know how to do it, then it will be no problem just to leave the vacuum out of the pool and make sure that the knob is turned toward skimmer. So if you get frustrated with how to deal with the vacuum thing, forget about it. Just leave it out of the pool and make sure that the pump is turned to skimmer, that it won't be turned to expect suctioning out of that vacuum piece. Okay, one other thing I want to show. Oh, this is, you all know this, but here's the, I forgot this. Every day when you come, while it's so hot and while we're using the pool a lot, I want you to take 2 of these and just throw them in the pool. So just get one of these like so, and just scatter it like that. So do that twice when you leave each day. Two of these tubs full. And that will keep the chlorine very chlorinated. If some little kid accidentally pees in the pool or something, that'll burn it right out. Okay, final thing is each day when you leave, I want you to service the toilet just a little bit. So you probably noticed that we keep this in the Kaibo. So just get about three scoops of water, and when you leave each day, just put 3 scoops of water in the Kaibo and let it drain. So do that 3 times. If you'll do that, everything will be, it'll work out great with the pool. You probably need to use the net. The pool will have leaves or bugs or something like that in it each day when you come. So it'll be a good idea to use that net right there to get it out. All right, that's the end of your pool instructions. Have fun this week.